Greetings, everybody. It is indeed Wednesday night, and it'll be time for another AEW Dynamite watch along. Moments from now, I like to pop in early just for a couple of minutes and kind of take inventory and say hello. It is the Go Home Dynamite for the Revolution pay-per-view going on this Sunday night. Of course, things happening in the Love Wrestling world. You can find us finally. It's here almost Friday. Friday night, we will be in Calgary, 7:30 p.m. on IWTV, 7:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Finally making our Calgary debut. You can check us out there. Tickets at Tixter.com if you're in the Calgary area. Also, we've got a big show here in Edmonton, our regular end-of-the-month show, March 28th, featuring Deanna Purrazzo and Zoe Sager. I'm going to be announcing what the return of Saturday Night Love topic is going to be a little bit later on. I'm taking this week off, but I will return on I believe it's the 15th. So sit tight, and we've got Dynamite coming up in just a couple of minutes. Good evening, good evening. It's time for AEW Watch Along with Boris. Dun, 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 dun.
If you need a feature, you just go Dynamite, Dynamite, jazz hands, it's Dynamite time with Boris.
The rings all set, the lights are bright, so settle in, it's Wednesday night. With matches stacked, the action's prime. AEW's Love is Dynamite time, and with Big Bad Boris, we're ready to roll. Let's kick off the night and rock and roll. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Let's kick off the night and rock and roll.
Good evening. It is indeed time to kick off the night and rock and roll. My name is Big Bad Boris. Welcome. Oh, they got a cool looking venue here tonight. Welcome to the AEW Dynamite Watch Along. It's looking like I am going to be going solo tonight. The lovely and talented Ophelia Payne is missing her voice. So greetings. So I'm going to be doing this by myself. This is the Go Home show. Well, the Go Home Dynamite. I guess Saturday's Collision would technically be the Go Home show for AEW Dynamite. Hello, Fernando. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. This is a cool looking venue. Where are they? Saginaw, Michigan? All right. Starting off with MJF talking. Shock to my system. Yeah. Ophelia has been silenced, not by me. I'm not sure who, but it's taco night in the Boris household. So I'm already ready for this to be over so I can eat and go to bed. And yes, I do think they added a couple of matches. There's a oh god, my brain is escaping me, but they added I believe a 6-man or 8-man and another tag match with Okada and somebody against Brody King and somebody. All kinds of stuff going on. Oh, we've got tables and chairs set up in the ring so we can get over with the contract signing. Because I hate contract signings. I understand the point of contract signings, but it's been done. It's lazy, and I just don't care for it. But again, that's just me. What do I know? This is a cool venue. Where are they tonight? Where's my fact checker? Dustin, are you fact checking for me tonight? I need to know where Dynamite is tonight. So the general consensus appears to be that Prince Nana is turning heel tonight. Hello, come. I need to admonish. There's no one to talk to. I'm all by my lonesome.
Oh.
But I'm going to admonish you now in front of the world because I was very mad at you about 45 minutes ago.
What did I do?
Well, you know me, right? And I'm very much the creature of habit.
Yes.
Okay, so the other day, I let this lovely young lady use World Headquarters for a work meeting. And she moved my monitor and she flattened out my laptop stand and everything was all cattywampus. And I'm trying to find it's like when you drive my car and you move the seat. I got to find the sweet spot again. I had to move the monitor and I had to reset this thing all up. It was a whole to do. And I was like, she doesn't know me. See, Asian Joe knows what's up. He says, "Don't bite the hands that feeds me tacos."
You see, yes.
See?
But here's the thing: is that I went to move this up and it didn't like it, and I thought I broke it. So it's not broken. So win.
Oh, so you didn't break something, and that's a win?
That's a win.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take this as a win. We have a contract signing going on here between Shane Strickland and Ricochet. Will be making an appearance momentarily. Ophelia lost her voice, so I'm all by my lonesome today.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll get through this, and then we'll eat some tacos, and I'll go to bed because I have to work at 4 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you for a notebook.
Yeah. Brand new, ready to go for the Friday show in Calgary.
The Friday show in Calgary. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. You mean this Friday show in Calgary?
Yes.
Well,
LPW in Calgary. I don't know what number it is, but you know,
it's not a number. It's our debut in Calgary. So it's LPW Calgary #1, which is why it's called Press Start. See, there you go.
Yes.
Somebody clip that and put it in the pre-show reel. All right,
cool. Well, I'm gonna go do things.
Okay, you go do things.
All right.
Does that involve tacos?
Well,
it's
I don't
hot
have
as
I was gonna say you're boiling.
I know I am. It is open.
He is so
You just have the
hot.
heat. You just have the heat turned on all the time, and I'm a big, fat, sweaty mess.
Yeah.
I know. That's what the ladies like to hear, isn't it? All right, so here comes Ricochet. See, you're doing the thing again that you do. You're like, let's see how much I can shake the table.
I can't win.
You're not a very professional broadcaster like myself. All right. That's the maid. Thank you, maid.
I'm gonna make you a sandwich.
Ooh, you make good sandwiches, actually. All right. I love you. All right. Let's focus on the task at hand. Ricochet doing the best work of his career by far. Isn't Evolve on right now? I'm quite interested in this Evolve show just because to me, I have equity in the Evolve brand. Was a big fan of Evolve back when it was running back in the day. So what this will be, I don't know, but I'm excited to see it. So I'm going to check that out at some point this weekend when I get a chance. And yeah, the contract signing trope has been done many, many times. I wish this pay-per-view was Saturday. Oh, Ricochet. My goodness. I wonder if Hunter and some of the WWE crew are looking at this and thinking maybe we could have got more out of him. Maybe we could have tried this. Maybe we could have, like, the super high flying white meat babyface thing is all well and good, but maybe we could have tried this. I do like that they gave Ricochet the first win of the feud. I mean, obviously it makes sense for heel to win the first. It's going to be a lengthy thing if Baby wins first match, and there's no point in having a second, really. But is there any stipulation for this match? I know AEW like their stipulations. Yes, I like the smaller, more full venues. This is cool. Somebody, you're bald. There's nothing wrong with being bald. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. This is number one contender. Good call. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, Eric. Ophelia is her voice has gone on vacation. So unfortunately, I'm flying solo tonight, and I'm a very boring person. So I apologize if this is not the most exciting broadcast. But at the first commercial break, I'm going to announce what I'm doing on Saturday Night Live on the 15th when it returns. I've got a fun idea. Those zip chair, the gaming chairs, I looked at their website, and you can get like sports branded ones, and they have all like cool fancy easy chairs and stuff, but crazy expensive. Oh, I missed what he just said. Damn it. Damn it. An unpaid for commercial. No PBR. My work shift has been changed. I do the 4 a.m. shift now, so I try not to have. I don't like to have even one on a night where I work the next day that early. And my new shift. Oh, he stopped the scissor attack. Yeah, I don't like to have any beverages, even one when I work that early. So I have a little bit of water, a little bit of sugar-free cherry Coca-Cola, and I'm waiting for my tacos, and we'll be good. Thank you, Fernando. I appreciate that. Well, that's what it is. That's right. It's Swerve and Brody King, I believe, against Okada and Ricochet. Like, that's cool. I don't know what BORO is, but Put him in the ground and then bang his wife. My God. There was no call for any of that kind of nonsense. It's all right. Spelling is hard. That's an interesting match. There we go. Now we spelled Boris correctly. I appreciate you. Oh, the great Utah's in the house, and we're in the Rickabone zone. This just might be the best Dynamite ever. Megan Bain and Penelope Ford against Thunder Rosa and Chris Sandler, presented by Queen of the Ring. Yeah, in theaters Friday. Yes, and this 8-man tag match is chock full of goodness as well. After Orange Cassidy is banished to the kickoff show with the Big Boom AJ, I don't know what the hell those guys are, who they are, or whatever they are, but March 15th. Where is AEW on March 15th? Is it Saginaw, Michigan? All right, we're going to commercial. Oh, yeah, you can get AEW pay-per-views on Prime Video now, too, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if it's only outside of the U.S., but that's kind of a cool thing. Las Vegas, Nevada. I wish I was going there in April to work. I wish I was going to call some shows in Vegas, but unfortunately, I am not. This weekend on Saturday Night Live, we're taking the weekend off. We have the Friday show in Calgary. For those of you who may not know or care or what have you, Calgary is about a 3-hour drive away from here in Edmonton. I work my 4 a.m. to noon shift at the shoot job, get home, shower, change, hop in the car, drive to Calgary, set up, do the show, tear down, go eat, drive home. So it's going to be probably about a 24 to 26-hour day for me on Friday. So I'm going to take Saturday off of Saturday Night Live so I can sleep and chill and relax. But I'm coming back. Yes, Love Pro Wrestling certainly does rule. Oh, I thought they were going to commercial. Maybe they're not. Maybe I lied. All right, hang on. They didn't go to commercial. I'm a damn liar. But yeah, I'm excited about Saturday Night Live's return on the 15th. I've got a fun idea that I'm doing research and I'm pulling footage, and I will explain it to you all at the first commercial break. I appreciate that. I'm getting old now. I'm pushing 50 now, so I do need my sleep. It's going to be fun. I haven't called, not counting the Saddle Dome, I haven't called a show in Calgary since I want to say 2018 is when PWA stopped running, if memory serves me correctly. So take away the 2 Saddle Dome shows, and it's been 7 years. Wow, 7 years. And of course, Calgary, my place of birth, my hometown. You can see various Calgary flame type things adorning the world headquarters. So, including the new fancy chair. Very excited to get back down to Calgary, to my hometown. I keep meaning to text my mom, tell her that we're doing a show in Calgary. You know what? I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to text my mom and say, Mom, we are doing a show while Will Ospreay soaks in the adulation. We are doing a show at the Deerfoot Casino on Saturday. All right, so there is a commercial after all. That's all downhill after 40. Just cash in all your chips and call it a day. No, I'm just kidding. So I've been compiling footage because I've been fascinated with this topic for a long time. On the 15th, we are going to watch some infamous wrestling shoots. And by wrestling shoots, I don't mean shoot interviews. I mean matches where things get a little heated, things go wrong, things get crazy, people do things that are wrong, dumb, stupid, or otherwise. I'm talking about like Gypsy Joe versus New Jack, which you can see on the little television that I have ever so fancily photoshopped. I'm talking about the Dirt Bike Kid versus Great Sasuke. You'll remember Perry Saturn and Mike Bell, the enhancement talent, things like that. So I thought it'd be fun to gather a bunch of those and watch them and talk about them. So I'm in the process of collecting footage for that, which will be on the 15th of March when Saturday Night Love returns. Plus, for those of you local folks, I have a couple of PWA incidents that I don't know if the footage has ever seen the light of day. I know one for sure has not. The other one might have, but I don't know. But I've got a couple of PWA ones that I'm going to pull that we're going to watch as well. So that should be kind of fun. I'm hoping I'm not stepping on any toes. I'm not going to bury anyone. I'm just going to explain what went down with these incidents. And I think it should be kind of a fun trip down memory lane. It's just interesting to watch how wrestling can kind of get a little bit out of hand and a little bit wacky. So that's March 15th. Saturday Night Love returns 10 p.m. Mountain, midnight Eastern on the Twitch. We'll be watching some infamous wrestling shoots. And I should pull that and use that as the words. The social media posts, because the kids like the social. It is so hot in this room. I swear to God, I'm going to die. And of course, Friday night, LPW press start. Can't wait. Super excited. Plus, I heard Dirty Duke Durango is going to be in the house, and I haven't seen. We've had Duke on Saturday Night Love, but I have not seen Duke in person. I want to say since the first PWA Saddledome show, which was many, many moons ago. And Dirty Duke Durango, for those of you who may not know, in Alberta, Western Canadian wrestling legendary icon, and a hell of a guy. So that is all coming up. I believe also the Thursday show that took place on Saturday, the Saturday afternoon matinee Clandestine Wrestling Society Love Pro Wrestling crossover, has been uploaded to IWTV. So if you're an IWTV subscriber, go check that out. There was some fun stuff, including an I Quit match between T.Y. Jackson and Stephen Crow, which really set the table for what's going on Friday night. And got a little hairy. There was a chair that was hurled rather hard into the face of Stephen Crow, and I saw him in the locker room after, and he was sporting some war wounds, so I'm sure he's going to be chomping at the bit to get his hands on T.Y. Jackson, but more importantly, chomping at the bit to get his hands on the LPW Grand Championship, which will be hung high above the Deerfoot Casino showroom. I love me some Mark Briscoe. I miss Jay Briscoe. Gone too soon. I still think he doesn't get the credit. Jay Briscoe didn't get the credit he deserved as one of the best promos in the business. When he cut a promo, it legitimately, it sounded like he was ready to whoop on somebody. That's a cool-ass venue. Where are they in AU? I got to find out. Orange Cassidy is back to his regular blue denim. My God, we're only 20 minutes into this. I want you to talk. My alarm goes off at 2:30 in the morning every morning. You don't understand how terrible my life is. Yeah, so we have Big Boom AJ, whoever that is, Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy against the MXM Collection and Johnny TV on the pre-show. Again, I don't get the Big Boom AJ thing, but again, I'm not cool and hip. Sacramento. Okay, cool. I don't believe I've been all over California, but I don't believe I've ever been to Sacramento. I can finally speak about the John Cena heel turn, which I watched as soon as Saturday Night Love was over, because that's pretty much, we were supposed to watch AEW episode 1, and we kind of skimmed through it while we talked about the heel turn. And I got to tell you, it was pretty tremendously well done. I have a couple of holes I would poke in the whole thing. First of all, I know Rock was supposed to be doing a 2-finger throat cutty thing, but it was like he didn't really know what he was doing. And this is probably me like reading too much into things, but like What happened if John Cena did not win the Elimination Chamber? Did the whole plan fall apart? Was the plan for whoever won the like? That's just me splitting hairs and that kind of thing. But I thought the whole thing was quite well done. I don't know if there's any truth to the rumor that Travis Scott popped an eardrum of Cody Rhodes with that slap or punch. I don't know if that punch was planned or not. But if that punch or slap or whatever it was not planned, and he just did that on his own, if I was Cody Rhodes, when I got to the locker room, I'd be like, hey, Travis, come here. Bam, stay in your lane. But, I'm sure that it was gone through and everything was discussed. Here comes Don Callis, which makes me think of that Maple Leaf Pro Show that's coming up. And Zoe Sager and Kylie Ray announced for the Maple Leaf Pro. I'm not sure if it's night 1 or night 2. Night 1 or night 2 of the Maple Leaf Pro Show. So good for Zoe Sager. Things continue to go onward and upward for the Intangible One, and I'm very excited for what the future holds. Partly so I can say when she's WWE Women's Champion at WrestleMania, I can say, I called her very first match. And I will sell you the footage for $17 million. It's 4-1 with a 1-hour lunch. It's got its positives and negatives. I've been working early mornings for the majority of my life, so it's not that big a deal. And I do like the time that I have to myself in the afternoon because I can catch up on wrestling and stuff. But when that alarm goes off at 2:30 every day, it's like, And shoot job, it's I wouldn't say it's fun, but there's good people. It's good times. I mean, there's definitely worse ways to make a living. All right, so we have this 8-man tag team fiasco. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in this match. Curling Will Ospreay. Solid work. Oh, yeah, Ospreay's in the cage with Kyle Fletcher. Yeah, this on paper, this pay-per-view might be one of the best ones that they've done. I just wish that it was on a Saturday, but so be it. So is Riccaboni taking the place of Tony Schiavone on this broadcast? No Sting fan in the front row. I like Sting fan. You can gauge how good the show is by the reaction of Sting fan in the front row. Yeah, I thought the Big Boom AJ thing kind of ran its course with that match he did with oh man, the name escapes me again. I hate my brain. You know who I'm talking about. The match he had with the guy on the pre-show at the last pay-per-view or the one before that. But apparently this thing needs to run its course a little bit more. Why can't I think of the name? I'm so mad at myself. This venue has kind of like an Elks Lodge ECW feel if it was a bigger, for those old heads, as the kids like to say, ECW fans. Elks Lodge was a venue in New York City that they ran. QT Marshall, that's the name. It just came in my head. QT Marshall. The Elks Lodge in New York City was a venue ECW used to run frequently back in the day, and this looks like a much bigger version. Just the way there's like the low balcony. That makes any sense to anybody. Yeah, Brian Cage should be a bigger star. Oh, that didn't go as well as we were hoping. That's okay, though. The tag. Apparently, Mr. Freeds, AEW pay-per-views are going to be available for order on Amazon Video, is what I'm understanding. I don't know if that's in the States as well as here in Canada or one or the other, but yes, I believe AEW pay-per-views are going to be carried by Amazon for a fee, of course. Don't go anywhere. The action continues in picture on picture, but TSN has the commercial in the big picture and then the little picture, which sort of defeats the purpose of picture in picture, but the hell do I know? Yeah, they have the commercial. I should see if I can screen capture this. Oh, they just got rid of the picture in picture and now it's just commercial. We're oh, I just hit the microphone. I'm a very professional broadcaster. Aforementioned, I'll beat it to death every commercial just because it's important to me and it's exciting. We'll be in Calgary on March the 7th, 2025. Friday. Wow. Friday, March 7th for LPW Press Start. Victor making his LPW debut and his return to professional wrestling in Alberta. MRB was trained by Tyson Kidd, but there was a lot of folks in that Calgary scene back in the late 90s, early 2000s who had a hand in training him. And Victor was definitely one of them, a very respected person, respected man in the Alberta wrestling scene. Went on, to, of course, to New Japan and went on to WWE, while MRB continued to kind of plow the road of professional wrestling here in Alberta. Now Victor back, and he's going to be facing a new, evolved, more complete Michael Richard Blaze. I'm very interested to see how this match is going to play out. There's a lot of history there, and I know this is a match that's been on the bucket list of MRB, and he said this in a write-up that he did recently. A match that's been on the bucket list. He sadly won't get to face Tyson Kidd due to Tyson Kidd's injury. But this is one of the guys that he had a lot of respect for that he's not had a chance to face in this evolved form. So that alone is going to be something very exciting. Let alone the main event, the LPW title being hung high above the ring for way ladder match. Number one contender T.Y. Jackson winning the number one contendership at the Oil Rumble 2. The Thickness Reed Matthews making the deal with the devil with the Clandestine Wrestling Society Championship of Salvation, got himself in this match. Stephen Crow basically staked his claim and said, listen, I got a clean win over Mars the Specialist, and that should put me in the front of the line, which is hard to argue with. And of course, your incoming champion, Mars the Specialist, those are your four corners. Hyann making her LPW debut, Alexia Nicole as well. So there's a lot going on this Friday night. Again, if you cannot be in Calgary, 7:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can watch that event live on IWTV. I'm a big champion of IWTV, and it's not just because we are on there. I've been a subscriber to IWTV for many years before LPW went on that service. So much content, and there's live shows every week. Speaking of live shows, AEW is back live, and something just happened and I totally missed it, but everyone is all verklempt. Verklempt is a book learning word. I assume Don Callis was up to some no good antics. You don't see the vertical suplex handoff very much anymore. I bet that's super hard to pull off. So kudos to those guys. Wonder how ticket sales are for Revolution, because that's the big arena. That's the crypto.com. That's the Staples Center. That's the Madison Square Garden of the West is what some people call it. Next Wednesday, we're in Fresno. How far is Fresno from Sacramento? I don't know. And there you go. Saturday, March 15th in Las Vegas, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. Great sell from Mark Davis. Fantastic. The hot tag, Powerhouse Hobbs, being a powerhouse. Big meaty men, meat slapping meat, something about meat. I don't know. Look at Will Hobbs just meeting everybody, slapping everybody's meat. Oh, bam. Look at Will Hobbs. What a legend. Tandem offense from the babyface team. Orange Cassidy on the back. Not bad. I don't have a problem with that. Nice dive from Mark Briscoe. Orange Cassidy up on the shoulders. I assume Mark Davis is just there to eat pins. That's not the finish, is it? No, it's not. Ryan Keith breaking up the pin. The San Jose Sharks have acquired Vincent Desjardins from the Pittsburgh Penguins for a 5th-round pick. I wonder if the Flames are going to make any deals. Trade deadline's what, Friday, I believe? Big power bomb. Brian Keith's back to those horrible yellow tights. I don't like it. The leather pant sort of gimmick. Now, granted, on the Indies, he was called the Bounty Hunter, and now he's the Bad Apple, so perhaps we're straying a little bit from that gimmick, but whatever. Man, Ospreay makes everything look so easy. Oh, and where can we find this podcast, Eric? Plug your business, my friend. Yeah, we're poking around that last playoff spot, and I've got to tell you, we're having a way better. I didn't think we'd finish the season 500, let alone be sniffing around a playoff spot in March. So I've been pleasantly surprised with the Flames. I don't think Dustin Wolf's going to win Rookie of the Year because of Celebrini, but I'm glad that he's in the hunt. But yeah, let us know where we can find that podcast. Catching Orange Cassidy in midair. Into the DDT on the floor. Ooh. Yeah, this match is kind of what I expected it to be. Just a lot of action, fun in and out. Good TV match. Overhead throw, but he got caught. The steel chair. That's not legal in a match like this. What is going on here? See, I don't think that Lance Archer should be getting steel chairs palm striked into his head like that. I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but like, do that spot if you're gonna do that to Brian Keith. Don't do that to Lance Archer. Just my thoughts. I'm not necessarily right about anything. Oh, that's very cool. I'm a big Battle of Los Angeles fan. Those are some fun shows. Apparently, there is a PWG show that they did that still has yet to be released, if I understand correctly. And yeah, I know Nick Manoa. Well, I don't know Nick Manoa, but I know of Nick Manoa, and that's cool. How come you've never interviewed me for your podcast? I don't have an inferiority complex about professional wrestling commentary at all. But yeah, apparently there's a PWG show they did. I think one coming back from the pandemic that I don't believe has ever seen the light of day, which is a shame. But yeah, PWG was a lot of fun. I don't like when they moved from that into that new theater venue. It looked too fancy, if that makes any sense. I liked that weird venue. It looked like a community hall, and everybody had big pony jugs of beer and whatever. I don't know. It fit the vibe for me, but always a lot of fun. The Proto Star, Kyle. What's a Proto Star? Oh yeah, we have been trying for 4 months, haven't we? I'm sorry. That's because you told me I had to watch a show, didn't you? And I don't have time. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's my fault. I apologize. This one's on me. I'll eat the pin on this one. But yeah, we'll get it done. I'm a big fan of talking, especially about me. And now the heels get their final shots in before the pay-per-view. AEW sure like their beatdowns, eh? Kyle Fletcher streams on Twitch now. I was not aware of that. That's cool. Give him a follow. Oh, is Mark Davis going to turn baby right after he turned heel? The drama is palpable. Palpable. The drama is palpable. See, I had a feeling he would do it. I mean, it makes no sense for him to that makes it more about Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher than it does about Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. But I mean, we could save that baby turn, put that in the back pocket, and bring it out a little bit later. He doesn't look happy about what he's done. How's Evolve going? Anybody out there peeking in on Evolve? I'm very interested to see how that's going to be. I'm going to check it out. It's only on Tubi in the States. It's on YouTube everywhere else, if I'm understanding correctly. So, Brainbuster on the chair. So, yeah, I'll be checking that out on the old YouTube. Maybe tomorrow night, if I have time. I got to do my show preparation. There's some new faces coming to LPW. I want to make sure that I have everything all prepared. The Proto Star. Yeah, that was a little odd, wasn't it? I agree with you. Takeshita and Omega. That should be good. Listen, you just settle down over there, all right? What was your show suggestion? Refresh my memory. King of Pro Wrestling or something? King of the Indies? King... I don't know. King something. King of the Indies. That's right. It's a good hype video. Yep, I agree. We saw glimmers of this like all the way back when he was Cyrus in ECW with the whole network thing, but he's very good at what he does. Da, 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 da. All right, as we go to commercial again, we will discuss what's coming up. March the 15th, there'll be no SNL this week, but March the 15th, we will return and we're going to watch some famous wrestling shoots, meaning things like Gypsy Joe and New Jack, or Perry Saturn losing his shit on Mike Bell, or Dirt Bike Kid and Great Sasuke, etc., etc. I'm combing through the archives and I'm pulling footage as we speak. There will also be some PWA stuff thrown in there that I don't know if I have ever released any of this stuff before. So that'll be a treat. I am not familiar with Jordan Oasis. I apologize. We are in commercial, so stick around. I'm going to take a break for uno momento, but hang tight. I'll be back. The microphone was muted, and I forgot to loop the video. Hang. All right. Dynamite coming back from commercial. I just peeked into Evolve and it just went off the air. So it's like a 45-minute show, which I'm kind of surprised that it's that short. I thought it would be at least an hour. But I'm looking forward to seeing how it is all shakes out. I don't know why. I was a big fan of the Evolve brand back when it was on the Indies. I was able to go to a couple of Evolve shows, the couple of WrestleManias I went to, and just there's equity in that name for me for some reason. Kind of like I watched the Ring of Honor show on Honor Club, the AEW one for like almost a year when it first started. Even though like it wasn't a bad show, but it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. But I watched it just out of habit because there's equity in the Ring of Honor name, and I was a Ring of Honor fan for so long, and I've taken that one out of my regular viewing. But when they do a pay-per-view or special, then I do kind of peek it and check it out. So yeah, I want to see what Evolve has morphed into under the WWE banner. I know Gabe Sapolsky's still running it, and it's got WWID folks on it. Maybe we'll see Zoe Sager on it one day. As we see the Great Utah, I have dubbed Wheeler Yuta the Great Utah just because it makes me laugh. We see the Great Utah making his way to the ring for his matchup. It was very interesting. I took a peek in at Collision, and we're seeing him incorporate more of Bryan Danielson into his wrestling style. We saw him do the whole "I have till 5," and he won the match with the running sliding knee. First match is a ladies' title. Okay, cool. I'm interested to see. Yeah, we saw him win with that running knee that Danielson used to use. So interesting to see how he's kind of morphing into Danielson and where that goes. I see a babyface turn for Yuta in the near future, so we'll see where that goes. Here comes Cope. I still don't like Cope. The name Cope, it's weird. I mean, Adam Copeland is fine. Even Copeland was fine. But Cope, I don't know. Now, where the Great Yuta goes, I'm sure the rest of the Death Riders are sure to follow. I'm not sure what condition Marina Shafir is in after her concerto at the hands of Willow Nightingale last week, but nonetheless, it's got to be a pretty big dream match for Wheeler Yuta, I would assume, to get a chance to wrestle Edge. So good for him. I think that's cool. Oh, so we've got Collision Saturday night. After Collision is the countdown. And then the kickoff show, 0 hour on Sunday. And then the pay-per-view. They got a whole lot of content going on. Are they chanting, get a haircut? Rudeness. He'll always be Sexton Hardcastle. Just like The Rock will always be Flex Cavana. I don't know if they... I can't decide. I'm undecided whether they're going to put the belt on Cope or keep it on Moxley. I thought that... well, man, the names. Everyone's name just goes... I thought Darby Allin was going to be the one to take it off him, but that did not happen. And he went the way of the dodo, climbing a mountain or something. I think Jeff Jarrett should be the one to take the belt off him. No, I'm just kidding. My gut says no, that they don't put the belt on him, but I've been known to be wrong almost all the time. So, whatever. No, the way that they've been having Moxley running in and out of the ring like that, you never know. Driven to the violence by the Death Riders. The Crimson Mask. I think Dark Side of the Ring starting right away too. Some interesting topics for Dark Side this time. They're kind of sort of, I don't want to say running out of things, but there's, a lot of the big stuff has been done and they're kind of moving on to some C and D tier stories, but Dark Side's always a fun, interesting watch. I want to be in a Dark Side. I want to be one of the recreators. I know that there's some Canadian talent that they have definitely used for that. I don't know who I could be though. I'm not an athlete, so I could not be an athlete. I could be like an old-timey cigar chomping promoter, maybe. I don't know. Dark Side season, what is this? Is this 4 or 5? Whatever the next start. Oh, Max Caster has an open challenge tonight. I'm all in for that. The next season of Dark Side, I want to be a silhouette vignette person. No, I think Gilbert was in far better shape than I am, and I think I might be a little taller, but I don't know. I don't think no. If like Gilbert had a pituitary problem, then maybe I could be Gilbert. If they need like a blue meanie or something, I don't have the hair though. Damn it, I couldn't even be the blue meanie. That should be a poll question. Who could I be in the next season of Dark Side of the Ring? I'm concerned as we go to a commercial. We'll talk a little baseball. I'm concerned the ship has sailed on the Vladdy's. I mean, if they didn't, they could still get it done, but he said he won't talk at all during the season. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they want to deal him, but I would like to see him stay. I was hoping we'd make more of a splash in the free agent market over the winter, Juan Soto and all that. But I think the Jays were being used as leverage by a lot of teams for a lot of players. But, Max Scherzer, he's definitely on the tail end of his career, but it'll be cool to have him in a Jays uniform and working with some of the young pitchers while he's pitching for us. And Santander, if he can hit another 40, who knows? I don't think we're a playoff team again. I'm hoping we're not last in our division, but I would definitely like to see those deals get done. I don't want to see Vladdy and Bo both leave. Bo, I'm hoping, has a bounce back year, but whatever. We'll see the way it all shakes out. I think Major League Baseball is a little broken right now, and we're going to see some Dodgers World Series for the next few years. And I don't like the way they do the luxury tax and all that, because it's kind of, I don't want to say unfair, but like a hard cap should be in the future for Major League Baseball. I'm interested to see how this whole challenging balls and strikes and tapping on the helmet thing kind of all plays out. I've seen bits and pieces of it in spring training. But the robot umpire overlords, I think, are on the way sooner than later. But yeah, I would like to see that get done. I'm hoping it can get done, but I'm not optimistic. But still excited for the season. I love me some Blue Jays. I love baseball in general, but I love me some Blue Jays baseball. All right, we're an hour through this show, which means we're halfway to tacos. Sounds like a song. We're halfway to tacos. I'm trying to think of some other shoot type goings on and happenings that I can play on the 15th. I've already pulled 6, and there's a couple more on my radar. I'm thinking maybe the infamous, the Goldberg Steven Regal. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, Goldberg was definitely out of his depth, but I don't think it was, the be all end all. I have to think. I think I might see if I can get my hands on the Public Enemy and the Acolytes. That was an interesting thing that went down when Public Enemy first came into WWE. So yeah, but I think it'll be fun to kind of go back and watch some of these. Some of them are a little bit disturbing. I've got if you're, I don't want to say historian because that's a bad, but if you do a lot of research and you're a big wrestling nerd like I am, you'll be familiar with the Act Yasukawa incident. It's ugly. We're going to watch that one. It's ugly. And also the Lucha Libre Cinderblock incident. I only have a clip of it. It's a very short clip, but the Lucha Libre Cinderblock incident we're going to watch as well. There's a couple of PWA incidents that I don't believe. I know one for sure has never been put out, and the other one might have. One of them is not funny, and one of them is sort of funny in hindsight. But we're going to watch those, and hopefully some local folks who are interested in PWA will tune in to hear those stories. So that'll be a week from Saturday, which I believe is the 15th of March on Saturday Night Love, 10 p.m. Mountain, midnight Eastern, over on the Love Wrestling Twitch. We are back from the commercial. Cope and the Great Yuta battling it out for the supremacy of the universe. All right, maybe not the supremacy universe, but Cope looking for the super duperplex. We're seeing a lot more headbutts in wrestling, and yeah, I'm into it. I don't mind it. Tried cattle mutilation, but Cope having none of it. Fans imploring the Great Yuta to tap, but there's no tap in the Great Yuta. And you're a fool and a communist if you disagree. American liquor coming off the shelves in a lot of liquor stores across Canada. It's a little bit different in certain provinces because in Ontario, for example, the center of the universe, the LCBO, the liquor stores are government run, if I understand correctly. So they are pulling off a lot of the American liquor off the shelves, whereas here in Alberta, liquor stores are privatized, so they can do what they feel with that. And I wonder, because I am very brand loyal to my Pabst Blue Ribbon, but it is an American beer. But I'm sure the folks at Pabst are. I'd like to think, anyway, the folks at Pabst are not happy with the knucklehead that is in the White House. So it's all very complicated. Cope escaping the cattle mutilation, which is a great name for a move, by the way. Yeah, this venue's super cool. I quite like it. Where are AEW running in Vegas? Because I assume the T-Mobile Center is too big. They've maybe MGM Grand, maybe? I don't know. Is that still too big as well? I could just Google it myself, but I'm lazy. Big spear from Cope. There's the win. The new Cope has been elected. The gray smoke is billowing from the Vatican. One match? Is that what happened on Evolve? One match and a history video? Really? In 45 minutes? So is it just the women's tag match and interesting. Very interesting. Oh, and a 6-man showcase with Jack Carville. Now, was it Jack Carville, though, or was it Action Andretti? No one knows for sure. Oh, that's what respect feels like. A wrinkle in the story. The Nashville Predators have acquired Michael Bunting and a 4th-round pick from the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Luke Shed and Tommy Novak. None of that means anything to me, but I figured I would pass it along as we march ever closer to tacos and bed. All right, what's next? Keep it moving, kids. Probably the women's match, I would assume. Uh-oh, what's going on? Is there a bald person in the crowd? It might be John Moxley. It might be just a fan. Oh, it's John Moxley. And he's going to be mad because on Collision, he told the great Yuta to take out Cope. And he did not. Oh, there's some bleeping, some cursing. The energy of my show is chill. I'm chill, kids. Is that a good thing? Well, usually I have at least one other person here with me to watch Dynamite, and we just banter as we watch. But unfortunately, I'm going it alone. I'm raw dogging it, as the kids like to say. Is that what they say? Whoa! The great Yuta getting in the face of John Moxley, not backing down, and going out the entranceway and not through the crowd. Da 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 da. The plot thickens. Moxley is following the great Yuta. Moxley's lost all his friends. Now he has to go it alone. This is not a great promo. Yeah, this promo is not great. Yeah, not great. And way longer than it needed to be. Interesting. That's an interesting take. Has he announced? Has he signed? I don't know if he's signed, but when are we going to see Speedball? Oh, the Hurt Syndicate Raider experience. Excitement. Oh, here we go. Here we go. See, now the Outriders are starting to get me to believe. Like I've discussed how I've been feeling about the Outriders. Just like I get the gimmick, I understand the characters, I get what they're doing. Just I lived this in the 80s, so to me it seems lame and cheesy, but I think for folks who didn't live it and younger folks, they're enjoying it in a different way than I am. Oh, I didn't see. Oh God. All right, I apologize. Hang on a second here. See, usually Spencer, there's a ding, and I didn't hear a ding.
That's fair. I've got a forgettable face. Like, that's the nice thing.
How long were you sitting there?
Like literally 4 minutes. I saw.
Really?
Well, 4 minutes used over. Like that's overing it. Like the last I saw was this is what respect feels like.
Oh God. Yeah, because usually there's a ding when somebody shows up, and I hear the ding, and there was no ding.
That's okay. I just figured, Boris, it's going to be such a long time until I see you again. So I figured I'd hop on. I'd hang out. I want to chat some AEW. I enjoy hanging out with you. It's like getting 4 birds stoned at once. I get to hang out with you. I get to watch wrestling. We get to promo shit, and I get to hang out with the chat. New music. Good to see you. Yeah.
I have done a heroic job of hyping up the show on Friday. A heroic job.
I am so very excited for our show on Friday. I am so very excited. It's one of those things that, like, once our show last Friday ended, I'm very much like a one focus sort of person.
Yeah.
Whole ass one thing, don't half ass two. And when our show ended there last Friday, literally Saturday morning, as I started to like pull our footage and that sort of stuff, I sort of had that like, oh shit, we're going to Calgary. And our card rules. I love Calgary as a city.
Yes.
It's just going to be cool as hell. Might not like your sports teams as much, but I think you could probably say the same about Edmonton. Like, I know you love Edmonton. We maybe disagree on who we root for, but that is what it is.
It all comes out in the wash, though. Hangman is viciously attacking somebody.
Or as JPJ would say, Hangman.
Hangman Page. Now they're intentionally covering up the face of... Oh, is that MJF?
I think you're a couple of seconds at. Yeah, I think it is.
That is not.
No, it's not. Probably not.
Oh,
Is it Brandon Cutler?
no, it's somebody who looks remarkably like Hangman Page yelling, "He made me do it." Da, 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 da. Now, did you hear? I've announced the topic for the return of Saturday Night Love on.
I
March
haven't.
15th. What I've decided is going to be a lot of fun is we're going to watch some infamous wrestling shoots, meaning things like New Jack and Gypsy Joe or Mike Bell.
I just watched actually, Boris. I just watched a New Jack promo / shoot on someone who we don't often name on this channel. Edmontonian professional wrestler who did some pretty horrendous things. A New Jack promo on said individual, and we can do a New Jack hour if people throw enough bits your way.
But things like New Jack and Gypsy Joe or Perry Saturn and Mike Bell or Great Sasuke and Dirt Bike Kid, we're just where things get a little Koji Katao and Earthquake. If I'm gonna do some edumacating, and I've pulled 6 so far, and I'm gonna pull a bunch more. Plus, and this is something that you'll get a kick out of. There's 2 PWA shooty incidents. I know one of them for sure. I've never released the footage of. The other one, the second one, I might have. We might have even watched it here on Saturday Night Love. But the other one, I've never released the footage of. It did not make the DVD, but I'm going to play it on the 15th. So if you're a PWA fan and want some, I'm not going to bury anyone. I'm going to do this very
I'm
very
going to send you a private message that either I'm going to be right or I'm going to pop you regardless.
Is that the dirtiest of all the Durangos in my chat? My goodness.
Oh my freaking goodness. So here's I'll give some breaking news here because I was chatting with this other individual earlier today that's coming out to our show. Dude, I am so excited for Calgary for a lot of reasons. I think you can probably echo this statement in a different way because you were obviously involved with the PWA in a way that, I wasn't. I was sort of covering from the outside. Dirty Duke Durango is the fucking man. Yeah. And I am so excited to see Duke this Friday. I think the last time, and it was even only briefly, but I was down there for Raw. This would have been, like last June or July or something. And Duke even had the courtesy to yell at me from the stands and wave while I was walking to my seats. So I'm excited to see Duke, but I'm also very excited. Here's breaking news. Former PWA Tag Team Champion Aiden Adams will be in attendance this Saturday.
Aiden
Adams. Very excited to see him as well, too. It is so freaking cool, man. Whether it's the people that I grew up watching, whether it's Kurt, who's come out to a couple of the shows, dude, it is so freaking cool that the promotion that I grew up loving is so supportive. It means a whole heck of a lot. Friday's
I love how we're ignoring
the
fact that it appears that MJF is attempting to light Hangman Adam Page on fire. But Duke Durango substantially more important than that. Yes, when I saw in the book face that Dirty Duke was going to attend the show, I was very excited. I think the world of Dirty Duke. And Aiden Adams, I love me some Aiden Adams.
Love me some Aiden Adams. He's come out to a couple of the Edmonton shows. Always just a good dude to see.
All right,
MJF did nothing wrong. So where I'm at right now is MJF is pouring lighter fluid while saying he did nothing wrong.
Yes. Do we know any of these security guards?
Where are they at tonight?
That's California.
Oh, so we may.
I'm looking. I'm not.
Don't worry, Boris. If they are, they'll post about it.
Duke, I'm excited for you to see an LPW show, and I'm excited to give you a hug. Damn it, you're gonna get a big bad Boris hug, whether you like it or not.
Duke, here's a question for you. When was the last time you saw APOC? Because I was going through the cage match, and I don't know how reliable it is. So, take this fact for what it's worth. But I was going through, and it means a lot that, Victor is literally coming back to Calgary for his first indie match since 2010. That's so wild to me.
Now, this may be before your time, Spencer, but there was a little stable called Damage Incorporated.
It was 100% my first PWA show, and I couldn't come out as often because I was going to school and shit like that for a few years. My first PWA show was 2010. That was at the Century. I think it was the 10th or it would have been the 11th anniversary show, I think. Something around there, 10th or 11th. But either way, I came out to that. But then I was coming like fairly sporadically. The next show that I actually came out to after that, dude, was the one where Tiger Raj Singh, Jinder Mahal, ended up making his surprise return in the ladder.
Yes.
And I think that was at Night of Champions, if I remember right.
One, my memory.
It was one of the big two. It was either like Night of Champions or Anniversary Show.
Anniversary Show,
like,
yeah.
Or it was the Halloween show because you got to get the graveyard up.
I mean, yes, we all know the graveyard Super Bowl. But yes, Duke saying the last time he saw APOC was in Vegas in 2017 or 2018. So
rad. It's gonna be so cool, man.
I was talking about how if you subtract the Saddle Dome shows, which count but don't, I mean, I haven't called a show in Calgary since 2018. 2018 was at the Cedar Bray, and the main event of that show was one of my favorite PWA. It's funny, the last non-Saddle Dome PWA show had one of my favorite matches I've ever called. It was a 6-person tag match, and I can't quite remember who was in it. I believe it was Body Break and Body Break and
Gigi Ray.
And Gigi Ray against
Western
Zoe
Lions
and the Western
Zoe
Lions.
Sager.
And I just for some reason, like, the match was phenomenal. Great match. But it's just one of those matches where I just felt like I was in the zone. I felt like it sounds silly and like
I don't think that was 2020, or I don't think that was 2018. I think that was 2020. Because if my memory serves me right, that was the last PWA show before the pandemic.
It was. Was that not 2018?
2020.
Was that 2020?
Yeah.
Well, see how bad I am with my math and my years?
Brother,
yes, I know it was.
Lucky.
It was definitely the last show before we shut down, because the next show was supposed to be with Luchasaurus and
Sean
Spears. Yeah.
Sorry,
just for some reason, I just felt like
current PWA Commonwealth champion as well as current NXT North American champion.
But yeah, I just felt like I was at one with the world of wrestling that show and that match. But yeah. Also, it's taco night in the Boris household, so I'm very excited.
Ooh. I just went out for my traditional Wing Wednesday because usually I'll go out for wings, but I always try and go out. Here's a fun little Spencer fact. I try and go and grab wings on the Wednesdays before like show week stuff starts. So tomorrow's Ring Crew, because one of our sponsors has great wings, number one. And number two, it's sort of my last little moment of like, okay, you have to do nothing right now. Obviously, there's stuff to do, but it's kind of nice to like have a couple of minutes of non-insanity before the insanity starts.
I really did think that 2018 was when PWA shut down. So it has not been as long as I thought it has. But yes, maybe it's when you hung them up. It's all, you know what? I just throw it all away. It was never the same after that.
How good is it to have Riccaboni on commentary more consistently?
The Riccaboni zone.
I love me some Ian Riccaboni. I really actually like all of AEW's commentary team, to be honest, but I got a soft spot for Riccaboni.
I was a big fan of Kevin Kelly and ROH, so when he stepped away and Riccaboni came in, it took me a while to kind of acclimate and warm to him. Yep. But big fan, and him and Caprice Coleman are very, very good together.
Oh, excellent duo. I think they're a fantastic trio too, though. Like, I got a lot of love for Excalibur, and I love Taz.
Yeah, always been a fan of Taz.
Breaking news, very hot take. Taz rules.
I have a very hot take coming out of the Elimination Chamber, actually.
What is your hot take?
Michael Cole is the GOAT. I think he's better than JR. I think
I have a lot of time for that argument.
There were moments when Vince yelling in his ear, it was not as good as it could be. But I believe that Michael Cole is the best professional wrestling commentator of all time.
I have a lot of time for that argument. I have a lot of time for that argument, to be honest with you. And like, I've got a little bit of bias because like I didn't grow up watching wrestling, so I didn't watch a lot of like JR's commentary live.
Okay.
So there's that little bit of like, I do have to give the asterisk, but yeah, I've got time for that. Got a lot of time for that.
JR's tarnished a bit of his legacy with what he's done in AEW, and I think it's time for him to kind of step away. But
yeah.
See, I think, but Duke, I agree with what you're saying, but I also think a lot of that was Vince yelling in his ear because Vince didn't care about wrestling names and holds. I think when he called, I can't remember if it was the women's tournament or if it was the Cruiserweight Classic tournament that he called without Vince yelling in his ear. And he does know that stuff. I just think a lot of that was Vince in his ear, forbidden words. You couldn't say the word wrestling for God's sake. So never mind, holds and moves. So I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, and speaking again purely as a fan, because like, how much have I wrestled? Fucking diddly squat. But like, I would rather, and I don't think this is the case with Michael Cole, but I would rather people not name moves and not get things wrong, because I notice when people like name moves and get them wrong. You know what I mean? So like, I would much rather someone who isn't confident with what move names are, or anything like that. And again, speculating here, but like if you're not comfortable with it, like don't force it.
Yeah. Harry Neal, there's a reference that not everybody's going to get, but yes, I did respect that. Many a Calgary Flames memory is tied to Harry. I also will say I think that Chris Cuthbert is the GOAT of hockey commentators too.
Is this a hot take to say that Ed Whalen was not a great hockey commentator? Again, not Calgarian, and my reverence for Ed.
And
like
that's just it. If
I close shows with the meantime and the in-between time because like nobody's ever going to top Ed. Like you got to pay homage to the best, right? But hockey-wise,
if I'm being objective, Ed Whalen was not a great hockey commentator, and I don't think Ed Whalen was necessarily a great wrestling commentator. If he called anything other than Stampede, but he's just so ingrained in my childhood that I can't say a bad word about him. He's a guy, along with Stu Hart, he is a guy that I regret that I never got to meet, because when I was a kid, he did my two favorite things. He did the Flames and he did Stampede Wrestling. And like, I never got to meet him. I met his son because he ran the Comic Expo, and he actually has a microphone and in between time tattooed on his arm, which is really cool. But I never got to meet Ed Whalen, and he was my hero. I wanted to be him so bad.
You told me this story. I actually
Duke, are you near your computer? Because I can bring you into this if you like.
Duke was probably one of the first 5 interviews I launched on Love Wrestling. If you go back. Because Duke Durango was right up there with Deonna Purrazzo and like Shaul Guerrero as far as a few of the first people we launched interviews with.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Did back-to-back weeks with Duke Durango and Steve Rivers.
I mean, Duke or Ed Whalen calling you an asshole, that's like a rite of passage. All right, we have women's tag team action.
Penelope Ford, Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa.
I'm kind of into Megan Bayne being a heel. I think that's cool. Oh, what are you making to eat, Duke? Are you, I guess, now that you're not wrestling anymore, are you just like chowing down on just a block of cheese the size of a car battery, or what? That's a Seinfeld line I stole. That's a Costanza. I stole it, but
every few weeks I see a fucking TikTok clip that comes across. It's an old one, but a guy who bought 44 pounds of Parmesan cheese and Friday. But he bought
Friday, Duke. Friday. Don't come Saturday because it'll be over.
He bought 44 pounds of Parmesan cheese for $10.75.
Really?
It was like going on sale or something.
I do love me some cheese.
Dude, how can you not?
So have I explained to you my day on Friday?
You and you can share the details on people, but you and your carload are coming down to Calgary, and you're going to the Chinook Center
No,
non-sponsored post.
None of that is true. Well, I mean,
not?
Well, yes, sort of. I am going to work.
I can only speak to the wrestling points.
I'm going to work my regular shoot job, 4 a.m. till noon, and then 12:45 leave with the Fitz, and I think Dustin's riding with us, and we're going to make a pit stop at Cross Iron Mills.
Oh, not Chinook. My bad. Wrong mall.
And then we're going to do the show, and I assume that we're going to tear down and go eat and then go home. I'm thinking it's going to be like a 26-hour day for me because I work the shoot job. So my alarm goes off at 2:30 a.m. Friday morning for a shoot job. So it's going to be fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a long day. And I'm going to do something that I have never done, and that is sleep in the car on the way home from a Calgary show. Because I drove those Calgary shows for years. And whoever rode shotgun with me had to be the one to stay awake. So for years, it was me and MRB. Vampire and What About Ivan slept in the back. And we would just bullshit about whatever and keep me awake on the ride home. But yeah, it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, we're loading the ring in tomorrow. And then I'm driving down because we can start loading in the morning. So I am driving down in the U-Haul at about 7 a.m. And I am excited.
So are you staying the night Thursday then?
No. We're just loading the ring. I'm going to drive down on Friday morning so that, like, to be honest with you, I can spend the night at home and not worry about a dog sitter and shit.
So you're doing the day trip 2 days in a row. Damn, girl.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably driving back on Friday after the show as well, too.
The glorious, exciting life.
To be honest with you, man, I am so sorry to interrupt you there, but like I am so excited to. One of my favorite things in wrestling is like I get to hang out with a lot of my favorite people on a month-by-month basis, and I get to meet some of my favorite new people on a month-by-month basis. You know, I'm sure you can speak to it as well, but like Victor APOC has been nothing but great to deal with. I am very excited to hang out and just shoot the shit with him. But Hyon has been nothing but great to deal with. Yeah. She's making her Canadian debut. She is cool as shit. And then Alexia Nicole, you know, you can speak to this as well. She came out for Change the Game, but how did our stream go for that show? So she didn't get to commentate. She was recovering from shoulder surgery at the time. And then when we had her booked for last May, that was when she actually, I believe it was a blood clot is what she ended up happening. And she had to pull out of the show. So
yeah, you don't mess around with it.
No, absolutely not. So I am so excited to work with Alexia Nicole for the first time, you know, after having guys like Von Vertigo out here and Ben Ortmans and a lot of sort of the Ontario contingent.
No.
Nothing but wonderful things said about her. So like, if I have to stay the night, I'll probably sleep in the U-Haul, but it'll be for the very good reason that we're meeting more of my favorite people, right? Like here's the funny one. I was actually pull the curtain back a bit. I was texting Alley Catch today because I had to get flights and that sort of stuff for travel insurance rebooked. And I actually ended up, I had to submit as part of our insurance claim. I submitted a Fightful article on her injury. Oh yeah. Because why not, dude? It's insurance. I'm going to throw everything at the wall that I can. So if I can get an article from a reputable news source included in there, but it's funny to be able to send shit like that.
So she is not coming out though, Alley Catch, correct?
No,
okay,
no, and rightfully so. Like,
of course,
lots of love for Alley, but flying and you just know, like flight delays, anything like that, especially when, you know, with a broken leg, you somewhat are a little less mobile. Who would have thought? So if anything was to sort of happen outside of perfect travel, it would have been frigged regardless. So
now I have a comment and a question. My comment is, because I'm a walking massive insecurity and inferiority, I'll be happy if APOC remembers who I am. And B, this is probably something that should better be asked in a private chat. But
we're on your stream.
What's that?
I said we're on your stream.
Will there be a press up, down, down, select VA second Calgary show? Or is this none of my goddamn business?
Nothing's locked down yet.
Okay.
I'll just throw that right off the bat. That being said, you're actually the second person to ask me that today. I want
Who was
to.
the first one?
Like,
Somebody
I
cool.
can't tell you that. That one I'll keep to myself. But dude, it is again, it's really sank in. I'm really, really happy with where we're sort of at for ticket sales, and the Deerfoot's been a dream to work with. They've been fantastic personally and professionally. I'm very, very excited to hopefully work with them again. So again, nothing's locked down. But it's certainly a goal, I guess, is the best way to put it. And with the way that things have been going, and even just my own happiness with it, yeah, I would feel fairly confident in saying it's by no means the last show we'll run in Calgary. I just can't give like a date or any stuff like that right now. Yeah, but want to, dude. It's cool. Like, even just, not to dive too much into the personal life, but I used to spend a lot of time in Calgary in sort of my previous life, and there are a lot of people there that I love. There are a lot of people that have actually reached out and that are coming out to the show. Calgary is a city that I think means a lot in professional wrestling, but just speaking for me, it means a lot to me. So I'm really, really excited, even though it's going to be something I've cognizantly, dude, like prepped myself for the last couple of days on being Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I thought about that at work today, actually. I'm like, dude, don't do it. Please don't, don't blow that, because if you blow that, there's no coming back. No. Dude, I'll always be open. Like, Edmonton's my home. I'll never deny that. I love this city so fucking much. But I've got a huge spot in my heart for Calgary, and there is no way that I'm going to do disrespect to that. I have only ever worked 3 shows in Calgary, and I have very much enjoyed being a part of all 3 of them. But to get the opportunity to do this with Love Pro and with so many people close to my heart, no pun intended, I'm real excited. I was at a concert a zillion years ago at the Shaw. I want to say it was Def Leppard. And they were like, Calgary! And everyone was like, ooh.
Yep.
And I thought about you, because like you get set in your ways, and you're like, Edmonton, Alberta, how you doing, people? I'm like, oh, please don't.
Bingo.
Please don't.
No, I've thought about that too. Don't worry. If there's ever a time I'll go full rock and like write my notes on my sleeve, it'll be for that. There's no way, man.
And I was like trying to figure out.
There's no way. I've screwed stuff up before. I'll screw it up again, but I won't screw this up.
Trying to figure out which Flames jersey I want to wear on Friday. I've like legit thought about that. I'm like, man, I don't know which one. No one's gonna yell or swear or throw things at me like they do when I wear Flame jerseys to our shows here.
It's going to be funny for me because I'm sure you've noticed as well, too. Mars is one of the most popular wrestlers. Like, fuck Love Pro in the nicest of ways. Like, he ain't just one of the most popular wrestlers for us. He's just one of Canada's most popular. Yeah. And I always laugh that when I announce him in Edmonton, he still gets the booze for Calgary.
Yeah. It's ingrained. On a bit of a left turn, how great is Zoe and Kylie Ray at Maple Leaf Pro? I'm excited about that. That's really cool.
Dude, it's it just rules. How many times have you and I talked personally and professionally on like Canada certainly gets recognized as a great wrestling country, and it still doesn't get recognized enough for what a great wrestling country it is. Huge shout out to Maple Leaf Pro, because I think that what they're doing as a whole, and obviously Scott is the promoter, what they've done has really put a very different set of eyes on Canada. And to be able to, just to be able to see so many good people get opportunities that they maybe wouldn't normally get, or that maybe have, again, those different eyes on them. It's so cool to me. I sort of laughed today that, like, fuck, of course it's Zoe and Kylie. Like, of course it's Zoe and Kylie. They are 2 of the most talented wrestlers on the planet. And if you can't draw with them, fuck, who are you going to draw with? Yeah. That's the best way that I can put it. Of course you're going to put 2 of the best against each other. It's just rad for me that, like, personally, and you've seen me tweet this a couple of times about Calgary, actually, too. There's only one chance at first time ever.
Yeah.
And it is cool as hell that other people recognize that they're as great as they are, because Edmonton recognized that on July 28th, 2024.
Mercedes Monet cutting a promo in front of stacks of chairs, which reminds me of all the promos I used to shoot at the casino in Calgary in front of stacks of chairs. Oh, who's going to be Max Caster's surprise opponent? He's making the open challenge. Things have been going swimmingly for Max Caster so far.
Is he still doing the... I haven't watched for the last couple of weeks, to be honest with you.
He is still the best wrestler alive. And
I hope it's CM
Punk. Shane McMahon. That's my answer for everything.
And Greg Hamilton announces him.
My answer for everything, whenever
in
anybody
the world.
My answer, whenever anybody would ask me a question about who that involved a person, my answer was always OJ. But now I can't use that anymore because he's dead.
Hello, Twitter world. Hi, Rip.
I enjoy the HBO Max tights that he's got going on here.
Hi.
Aiden Adams will be in the house. I'm excited about that.
Hi, dude. Saying hi? Trying to get
Aiden Adams once came to a show in Edmonton and just sat down at my commentary table and started talking into the microphone.
Yeah, it
was not asked or invited.
Boris,
I let it happen, but was not overly pleased about it because I'm very protective of my seat next to me.
Well,
so
I've also gotten pretty protective of it since August.
I let it slide because I like Aiden Adams, but
no,
to me, it's like when I walk in the ring in the middle of your match and like I'm going to wrestle this match now.
I mean,
whatever.
I mean, now you can to Aiden Adams.
He was a good dude. I like Aiden Adams.
I'm so excited, man. Very, very excited to see him.
I wonder if we'll see any other blasts from the past from Calgary show up. That'd be interesting.
I hope so, man. To be honest with you, it's been very cool to sort of see the support from Calgary. Really, Rip, come on, dude. You did this the other night. Don't be a dick.
And I hope we got an ass every 18 inches, as Jim Ross would say.
Down. No, don't give me a paw. Don't do this stuff. Well, that's okay. It might not be every 18 inches because they only need the front of the seat. Is that not the... There we go. Is that not the phrase?
We'll sell you the whole seat. But
we only need the front of it.
Oh, here comes Switchblade Jay White. Much to the chagrin of the best wrestler alive, Max Caster. The Crimson Mask. Every time I look at my Ramon skateboards, it makes me happy. What a find. What a find that was.
Y'all did well. Which pawn shop did you get those at?
Cash Canada on, I want to say 97th, right by the brew house. If I'm got my roads correct, it might not be 97th. I might make that up.
You can speak to this better than I can. There's no way Jay White loses this, right?
Loses this match?
Yeah.
No, but Max Caster has lost every match since he declared himself the greatest wrestler alive. So it seems only fitting.
That makes some sense. Is he
this
basically
is a cool looking venue too?
Is he basically playing like the Kurt Hawkins role?
Kind of.
Like check the facts. What was it? Check the facts or something like that?
It's in good shape though.
Okay, get outside. You can go outside. I don't give a fuck. You can.
Well, this. Okay. Well.
Oh no, he's good.
No, I'm just saying this match might be over before you sit back down again.
Why does he have a Guinness World Record?
Which is good because that means we can get to the main event, which means we can get to tacos, and means I can go to bed. Because as I mentioned, 2:30 in the morning comes mighty damn early. Does Jay White have a match at the pay-per-view?
I don't know. He might. Does Jay White have a match at the pay-per-view? No, but if you want to watch 24, there's 9 series of it.
Oh, good.
That was the result I got.
I was wondering.
How many series of 24 there were? Seems inappropriately low.
Jay White could turn heel at the pay-per-view. Yes, tacos. I'm very excited about the tacos. Still to come, our main event, Kazuchika Okada and Ricochet against Swerve Strickland and Brody King.
Sounds like a Mad Lib.
I know it does, right? Oh, we have Renee Paquette sitting down with Mariah May and Tony Storm in the white void of nothingness.
This Sunday live on pay-per-view.
Did she just spit in the face? Rudeness.
Sometimes I just want to stream, man. That's it.
Does the sound of your blinging phone stress you out sometimes?
Pardon me?
Does the sound of your blinging phone stress you out sometimes?
Always. Honestly, always. It is
bad things?
Dude, no, it's a fucking source of anxiety, to be honest with you. Like, I have to be on 24/7.
Yeah.
And that's not a complaint, and frankly not relevant to like current situation. It's all good people. But yeah, like it is stressful, to be honest with you, to be like needing to be available or feeling like I need to be available fucking 24/7. A lot of the time.
It's hard to run the circus, right?
Yeah, like they are my monkeys. How many times they are my monkeys? They are my circus. Like that's the wonderful part, I should say. Like, yeah. Like right now, I just want to have my first beer in a while and watch some professional wrestling. So, yeah.
Oh, Tony Storm is good.
Tony Storm is incredible. I genuinely do think, man, I don't even think this is a hot take. Of anybody who has left AEW, she is the biggest success story. Or left WWE, excuse me. She is the biggest success story.
Definitely.
Mox is up there, but like Mox has the advantage of time. Like he was there 2 years, 3 years earlier. But otherwise, man, a lot of people have gone back. A lot of people have not, in my personal opinion, been as good on.
And
AEW
Mox was
programming.
already successful. You know, he was already a champion, whereas Tony's gone up, whereas he's kind of stayed low.
Yeah. So, well, I guess Cody, in a way, he's
doing okay for himself.
He's done fine. I was watching actually. Shout out to Fightful. I was watching their show this afternoon. The Hump, usually with Sean Ross Sapp and Jimmy Van. It was with John Alba from Sports Illustrated today. Cody Rhodes, over the last year and a half, 2 years, has forced both The Rock and John Cena to turn heel because people love Cody Rhodes so much. Isn't that wild?
It is interesting. Now, do they put the title on Cena at Mania? I was having a chat
absolutely.
at work
100%.
about this. Think so?
Yep. I think that WrestleMania, if I was fantasy booking the shit, I think WrestleMania closes this year with everybody lifting up John Cena, like The Rock and Travis Scott and all these guys, lifting John Cena up the same way that everybody lifted Cody Rhodes up last year.
But all the heels.
Yep. But everybody aligned. Because I bet you like Jimmy or Jey Uso becomes a part of this. I think one of them is going to align. with Cena and The Rock. And Dennis Rodman. Travis Scott, sorry.
Where does Roman Reigns fit into WrestleMania? And again, as a not regular viewer, he doesn't really have anything going on, does he?
I think it'll be Reigns, Rollins, and Punk. I think it'll be a triple threat there.
And then what do we have with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu? I guess they do have 2 nights of Mania to fill, so there's lots of space for
like last
everybody.
Year, there were what, 16 matches, 17 matches, right? Like there's a lot of room. If you wanted to, you could just freaking call a Jacob Fatu Solo Sikoa match 2 weeks before Mania. Like there's the build story there.
Is the Andre the Giant Battle Royal still a thing?
Yeah, but they do it on SmackDown now. Yeah.
Who won that? Who's been winning that? Who won last year?
Oh God. Was it like Otis or something last year? Andre the Giant. Andrew the Giant, no.
Because I know Cesaro won it, and I know Corbin won it. Didn't what's his name? Frick. Well, didn't Mojo Rawley win it, or am I reinventing history?
No, you're completely right. Mojo Rawley did win it. So here are your winners. The first one was Cesaro.
Okay.
Second was Big Show, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Matt Hardy, Braun Strowman.
Matt Hardy won the Andre the Giant Memorial.
Yeah, that was when Bray Wyatt turned face.
Oh, okay.
Braun Strowman, but almost more interesting is the fact that the runner-up was Saturday Night Live Weekend Update host Colin Yost.
Oh, okay.
Jey Uso.
Really?
Madcap Moss.
Really?
Bobby Lashley, and then last year was Bronson Reed.
Interesting.
Who surprises you the most there?
I couldn't pick Madcap Moss out of a Police lineup, so. But again, I'm not a regular watcher over the last few years, so no disrespect to him, but. Ricochet and Okada as a tag team was not on my bingo card for this year, or this week for that matter. Yeah. I heard rumors they might want to unify the international title and the continental title, which I'm on board with, because why do they have so many goddamn titles?
It's funny because WWE technically has more titles, but they've got more shows, so it doesn't feel as what's the word? Condensed, I guess.
I wonder how many they have if you count everything. Like all WWE. The NXTs and all the Raws and all the SmackDowns. So
Boris, as DX said, welcome to our AEW stream, by the way.
And the Speed title and the ID titles, like everything.
I would bet
30?
I would bet there are 26 titles. That's my number. I'll do some math on this later tonight.
Do we count the one that Cody and Liv won in Saudi Arabia? Do we count the one Braun Strowman won in Saudi Arabia?
No, I think these have to be titles that are actively defended.
Okay.
Because the same way, I wouldn't count the Owen Hart Cup or the Owen Hart titles for AEW.
That's fair.
Or if we're going to do one for one, we got to do one for the other. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander, so to speak, Jesus
I'm loving me some Brody King.
Rules so hard. I will say AEW's got some of the fucking coolest wrestlers in the world. Between Brody King and the Butcher, dude, you could have put on a wrestling show and a metal festival.
That look with the chain and the balaclava or the baklava or whatever it's called.
I believe baklava is a kind of bread.
Food, isn't it?
I think it's a balaclava.
Yeah, am I hungry? How do you tell?
Hey,
I'd like to see him come out with some baklava on his face, though. I think that'd be cool. Good
Baklava
God,
cake.
we're still doing intros. That means they're going to have an overrun. Shoot me in the face.
Just eat tacos on stream, dude. It's a fairly loose Wednesday night.
Yeah, but that's not something anybody wants to see.
That's fair. Turn your camera off.
No, I'm upstairs. Tacos are downstairs. It's the whole thing.
That's fair. So I've had a couple of friends introduced to professional wrestling over the last couple of weeks, ironically enough. Swerve Strickland was one of the people that caught most of their eyes.
There's an it factor there for sure.
Yeah, I hate the phrase, but it factor, X factor, whatever you want to call it. Like, he's got it. As the kids would say, he's got Riz, I think, right? Is that what they're saying?
I'm almost 50, so I don't have Riz.
Boris, I'm 33 this month. Hey, you want to come play some Mario Party baseball in the next couple of weeks? Spence is having a birthday party again.
What day?
I don't know yet. And honestly, probably even if I did know, I wouldn't reveal that on a live stream.
Fair enough. Because you did the last one on like a weeknight.
No. I don't think so. I think
why
my
didn't I
birthday was
stay
on
at
a
your
Friday
house?
last year.
Are you sure? Why didn't I stay at your house and get loaded? I wonder if I had to work Saturday or something.
Maybe.
Okay, well, we'll rectify that situation.
God forbid we got to get loaded and play some Mario baseball.
I was good at Mario
You
Baseball.
were really good at Mario. You were the first one to slap a dinger, as I think, again, the baseball fans say.
See, that I do know. That I do know. I've slapped some dingers in my day.
I will say, baseball on television, not my thing. Live baseball, there are very few sports I enjoy more.
Did you hear the Prospect's new name?
The Energy City Cactus Rats, I kind of love it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I just want them to finish that damn stadium.
I'm not sure how I feel about Energy City. Cactus Rats, I do love.
Apparently, Spruce Grove is the Energy City. I don't know if that is a thing. I don't know how or why, but I don't believe that.
Growing up as a Sherwood Park kid, it's very much like an Edmonton and Calgary thing with Sherwood Park and Spruce Grove.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, so I couldn't tell you as far as hockey teams go.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Yeah, on ice, we're very much the biggest rivals. Great people, but on ice, we hate Spruce Grove. Off ice, they're great people.
I find it very unlikely that they're going to be done that stadium in time for them to play this year. But if all these schematics and the mock-ups are true, it's going to be a pretty sharp facility.
As a non-construction worker, I couldn't tell you.
Do you own a hard hat?
No, I do own steel-toed boots, though.
As do I.
Back.
Uh-oh. Are we fetching our steel toes? We have chaos early on in our tag team main event. Poor Rick Knox is being put in a bad position. Well, I think we're going to get Brody King and Okada at the pay-per-view too, which, sign me up for that as well. Yeah, on paper, this pay-per-view is going to be awesome. I'm very sad that it's on Sunday. But that might be my Monday afternoon viewing after I get home from work. The shoot job, as the kids like to say.
No, I was not grabbing the steel toes, but as I get
making
older,
a spectacle of yourself.
Nicely played, well done.
Thank you.
As I get older, I've started to notice more and more that my contacts, they don't hurt, but they're a little more uncomfortable if I start to wear them earlier in the day. And so, might as well make a spectacle of myself.
See, I'm at the point now where I have to take mine off to read close up.
Oh, okay.
So, that's why whenever I'm on stream, you notice I never wear them, because if I do, I can't read the damn screen. But when I'm calling wrestling, I need them to see the damn ring. So, any idea where my position's going to be? Again, conversations that could be had off air, but I'm very excited.
No, it actually, as long as you're comfortable with it, the where we had you, the sound sounded great. All of that was good. So as long as you're cool up there, we just got to. I should do that tonight. I've got work to do after this. But But I should get tickets on sale for like that normal spot. I did miss you though. I'm sure when you watch back the stream a couple of times, you'll notice that I like look to you and then have to like look up.
It was funny too because Stephen Crow and was in that middle section on the Saturday show. And he's like, Boris, where are you? And I'm like, I'm up here. He's like, were you up there yesterday? I'm like, yes, I was.
Stephen Crow and all the other competitors in that match, I think, were much more worried about violence than where commentary was.
That is a guy who has really come into his own, Stephen Crow, and like the couple of promos he cut on the weekend. I met him, and I don't want to go too inside baseball again, but I met him.
Thank you, Fernando.
I was with MRB in Calgary for something, PWA probably. And we popped by where he worked. This was years and years ago before he started refereeing or wrestling. And that's when I met him. And I was like, if you would have told me that kid would command a room with a microphone, I would have told you were crazy. But watching him come into his own as a wrestler and a performer has been unbelievable to watch. I have a lot of time for Stephen Crow, as you would say.
I guess this is kind of both our stories to tell, but I'll tell it. Why not? The first time that I met Stephen Crow was when I was still doing some work for the Win Column Sports Network. And I interviewed MRB at a Boston Pizza, the Boston Pizza by West Edmonton Mall, ironically enough. And I went and I did an interview with MRB, and Steven came, and he was refereeing at the time, so I asked if he wanted to like do an interview or anything like that, and didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it was from referee to obviously time with another company where I was a ring announcer. But the Rhinestone Cowboy, fun fact, officially did debut in the Pinnacle Battle Royal, the first ever match that Love Pro Wrestling put on in that pre-show that we did at Change the Game. That was the first time that like the Rhinestone Cowboy ever came out. So yeah, it's been so cool to see everybody grow, but Steven's a fucking great example of, like you said, owning yourself, owning a room, fucking just that confidence that he's had over the last little bit is unbelievable. You know, another person that I want to like shout out, because I actually messaged him here on it yesterday, like Barack Garani has been absolutely killing it over the last few months, and the confidence is there, and holy shit, that dude is jacked and juicy. He is a certified beauty. Like, dude rules. Just rad, man. Seeing great people succeed always fucking rules.
The first LPW show, not the combined one, so that's not LPW1, right? LPW1 was the one after that.
LPW1 was Change the Game. That was October 15th, 2021. And then our next show was March 25th, 2022.
I called that show, did I not?
Yes. Change the Game to this point outside of like, actually, no, I'm going to save this because it's a trivia question. We're going to use fun one for y'all. We have a Love Pro Wrestling specific Quizplex coming up.
Oh, I'll be terrible at it. And the funny thing is, because I was talking to Melissa, because like if you don't count that like split show, I've called every single match in LPW history.
Except for one show.
Oh no, that's right. But
save that one because that's where I was going with it, because I was thinking the same thing. You have called everything we've done with the exception of.
I was there.
You were certainly there. You certainly called it in one way. But
man, I would be terrible at LPW trivia. That's the funny thing. Even like PWA, I lived through all that stuff, and I can't remember a damn thing. And MRB's like, well, that happened September 2016. I'm like, how do you know that? Blows my mind.
Only over the last little bit, because we've always known he's had it, but only over the last little bit have I started to realize how great Michael's memory is. I used to be able to remember like every card, every match order, everything, and it's only recently that I've started to like drop a little bit off.
All right, we're coming back from commercial. It's 8:00. Can we like put an end to this? I have to go to bed.
No, you have to have tacos and then go to bed.
Well, I know. I'm more excited about the tacos than I am the bed. Oh, maybe I'm equally excited. And I bet this match has been awesome because everybody in this match is awesome. But since I took these 4 a.m. shift, I've been debating about the future of the Dynamite watch along because I really enjoy doing it. But like, it's a late night, as silly as it sounds. It's only 8 o'clock, but
yeah, 2:30 comes early. Like right after this, I am going to finish my work, and then and you're probably not going to understand a word of this in the nicest voice. But after this, I am going to finish my work, and then I am going to complete the 7-star Mightiest Mark Masquerade or Meowscarada raid on Pokemon Scarlet because the new one starts tomorrow for Skeleturge. So,
okay.
I cautioned early. You got your spoiler warning.
You were right on target. What is the beverage of choice there?
So actually, fun fact, we sold the Rec Room out of Brainbuster Brew last weekend. So I went to Alley Cat because support Canadian. We're fucking proudly Canadian. I bought myself an Alley Cat Skona Gold for tonight.
So are we out of Brainbuster Brew in the world now?
Until we get the stuff recanned next week.
Oh, so they're doing another run?
Oh yeah, they always get it covered off for the Rec Room and that sort of stuff, and then you can order it on Liquor Connect if you ever want to buy it for the comfort of your own home.
That's so cool. We have our own beer. That's rad,
dude. It's so cool. And like actually, Winnipeg Pro now has their own beer. Boom Pro Wrestling, which huge shout out to them. They're running the Commodore. I think it's
yeah, I saw that.
It's either June or July 26th. Sorry for the bad put over, but huge shout out to Boom. They're running the Commodore. They've got their own beer now too. Like, dude, it is so cool. You know, you see the tangible results at like the television level in a lot of ways. Seeing so many rad people succeed in independent wrestling, dude. The Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes every fucking day. Like, the amount of love I've got for so many of these people is rad. And then to see the amount of love that other people have for so many great people is so fucking rad.
Swerve is running away, but there's no one to tag. Left to them, or sorry, Ricochet is running away. I'm a commentator, you know.
I've got nothing sarcastic there.
There's nowhere to hide. He is at the mercy of Swerve Strickland in our main event.
Do you think Cope is winning on Sunday?
I don't. We talked about that actually earlier on. Somebody in the chat asked about that before you came on, and I'm leaning towards no.
I think he is the first person since Mox won the title. He is the first person I think could win it, but I'm in the same boat.
Because Jay White just said that he's going to be there and mentioned, you know, he's going to be there to help support Cope, which leads me to believe that Jay White's going to turn heel. But I also think Prince Nana is going to turn heel, and I don't think you want to do 2 of them on one pay-per-view, but this is also AEW, and they do whatever the hell they want to do. So,
you know what I think is going to happen?
What? Shane McMahon?
At least if I hope is
OJ?
going to happen. I guess is the better way to put it. I think Cope wins it, and someone, you know, maybe a former tag team partner who has the opportunity to not cash in, write in. Is it writing in? Oh my God, that's so lame. But the opportunity to write in an opportunity for the AEW World Championship. I think Cope wins the title, or at least I hope Cope wins the title, and then Christian cashes in.
Because now that you mentioned it, they've kind of been downplaying that the past couple of weeks. There's been no,
and that's what they always
Christian
do.
Cage on TV this week. Nothing on Collision last week. I can't remember about Dynamite last week, but yeah, that's a very good call. Let us forget about it a little bit.
Yep. Because they usually do it. Like, how many times have we seen WWE in the first few weeks after winning Money in the Bank? They're so heavy-handed with, oh, look, here's the person with the briefcase walking out at the end of every show, which AEW did with the contract and threatened him cashing in. And yeah, they haven't done it in a bit. Because realistically, right now, I guess after Revolution, everything is building towards that All In Texas show.
Yeah.
Got in June. Like, that is the end goal, right?
Do they not have a pay-per-view between? They've got to have at least one pay-per-view between then.
Double or Nothing, I think, is in May. But I could be wrong there. List of All Elite Wrestling pay-per-views. Upcoming events. Revolution. Okay, so yeah. So Revolution Dynasty is April 6th in Philly. Double or Nothing, May 25th in Arizona. And then, yeah, July 12th.
Yeah, they've sort of been starting a monthly thing, but they're giving extra space between the last pay-per-view before the stadium show.
Yeah.
I wonder how tickets are selling. I heard it wasn't great, but I hope they pack it.
I do too, man. Like, there are things I love and things I don't love in both companies. But at the end of the day, if fucking wrestling companies are selling tickets, the industry grows and everybody has the opportunity to make money.
Ricochet pins Swerve yet again.
Oh, wow.
As we lead into said pay-per-view on Sunday, we've been spoiled by Saturday pay-per-views now that I'm bummed this one's on Sunday.
Do you have the whole mentality? Because I certainly do. If you stand tall to close the show, like the go-home show, you're going to lose at the pay.
That has been my thoughts for
That's my experience.
decades, actually.
Yep.
I've won many a pay-per-view pick'em contest using that.
Using the old, they stood tall, they're losing.
Yeah. If you go over on the go-home show, then you're losing at the pay-per-view.
Yep. And I kind of think this here. I don't think, and maybe this is just the fucking bleeding heart in me, for lack of a better way to put it, but like, I don't think that they're going to have Swerve lose this feud when Ricochet has fucking Jimmy Rave's robe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And lots of love to the embassy, but that's sort of the way that I see it, is like Jimmy Rave was the last person to wear it before Swerve, right? I'm always of the belief that, like, if you're going to go that deep into something, the babyface has to go over huge.
I agree with you. All right, that is the AEW Watch Along. Don't forget to join us on Friday night, Calgary, Alberta. Tickets at Tixer will be available at the door. Doors open 7 o'clock, showtime 7:30. If you cannot be there live, join us on IWTV, 7:30 p.m. Mountain, 9:30 Eastern for an absolutely packed show. We, of course, are back here in Edmonton on March the 28th, featuring Deonna Purrazzo versus Zoe Sager, as well as Effie, if he is still GCW champion, will be defending that title against Stephen Crow. This Saturday, there will be no SNL, but we'll be back on the 15th for infamous wrestling shoots, including some never-before-seen PWA shenanigans. I think I hit all the high notes there, Spencer.
Hell yeah, you did. Thank you guys for tuning in. Boris rules. Please continue to do so. And tune in on IWTV this Friday to Love Pro Wrestling's debut in Calgary. I'm excited, dude. I'm real excited. Rock and roll. Stay in control. Don't stick stuff up your butthole. See, that rhymed 3 times. That's why I was going with it.
Don't yuck my yum. I'm going to go eat tacos and go to bed. I love you, brother. Good evening. Good evening. It's time for AEW Watch Along with Boris. Dun, 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 dun.
If you need a feature, you just go Dynamite, Dynamite, jazz hands, it's Dynamite time with Boris.